Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to an honestly very hard challenge. In the last episode, we ran into what I would assume is some sort of traveling assassin for hire. Crash the Scorpion seems to have left his mark on the world. We actually found a very mysterious skeleton down here just before he popped out of the grasses. So Toxin, for the most part, figures she can trust him to do his job. After all, she has spent plenty of time with rogue males before. She's kind of used to living with the riffraff of the world. Though since her bearyena love has wandered off into the grasses somewhere, she has found herself all alone. And now she's found her true home under attack by bearyenas too. Honestly, I feel like her bearyena love may have run into the defender bear. I just don't think he would abandon her like that. They clearly had feelings for each other, and now she has his baby to have too, but that's going to have to wait until she has a safe place at the nursery. So Crash is about to land his first attack. Now I feel like he's probably very used to working alone, but Toxin isn't about to let him have all the fun. This is her home too, so now this has turned personal. She's going to land her own attack if she has any say in it. Let's actually have her jump up here, because that should help her light the way for Crash to land the first blow. Unfortunately, the passage to the bearyena is very, very narrow, so we'll only be able to do this one at a time. And we still want to make sure that Crash is going to be able to back away from the bearyena, because we certainly don't want him meeting any untimely fate. We have 10 days remaining on his lifespan too, so go ahead and land the first swipe. You've poisoned the bearyena, and that is truly your claim to fame. Crash is the only creature in our tribe right now who's able to poison the creatures he attacks. He's a bit of a poison-loving assassin, I guess, so it's pretty fitting that he ran into Toxin of all creatures. But let's have him jump all the way back here now, and that means you will have to wait one extra turn to land your attack too. She only has 2 turns remaining since she was the one lining up the way. So let's just make sure that she's tucked safely out of harm's way. We'll bring her straight over here next to the water side, and I think she should be okay. It's not as though bearyenas typically cross the stream. Though, on that note, let's not take any chances. Let's bring her over here so she's super, super far away. And even if the bearyena scoots over to this tile, so he's ready to attack Crash on the next turn, she'll definitely be able to land her swipe then. Now I'm sure Mist doesn't even realize that she has creatures helping her from the darkness. One that she is very, very familiar with, of course, and one who would make an excellent addition to their guards. All she really knows is that her land is under attack, and that she must keep all of her little banana babies safe. Ben is currently trying to drag Kingsley off into the grasses, so they're scurrying off this way, and that should definitely be far enough away to keep him safe, if the rogues don't get to him first. It looks like I may have misclicked too. I think Kingsley actually picked up all of these weeds and grass in his haste. He is probably just terrified. Like, to be honest, he hasn't really had to deal with danger too much. There was plenty of danger when he was born, but for the most part his childhood has just been calm and easy, and that's why he's so terribly lazy too. So as he and his brother scurry off toward the big savanna trees, maybe they would take that as some sort of landmark? Oh, but the rogues are so not happy to see this prince passing through. It's not as though he ever did them any favors. That's probably exactly what the rogue male is thinking right now too. Maybe he thinks this would be a good chance for him to take advantage of the royal babies. While they're running away, while they have nobody to protect them, that would actually be an excellent moment to strike. Luckily, he's far enough away from Mist that I don't think we'll have to worry about her. But still, Icebreaker, I know you're going to want to get to your family. Let's bring you right up here, so you can actually give a little bit of that nesta material to the peaceful bear too. Goodness knows he needs his day's payment. Now we're out of nesta material again though, so it's going to be time for Mist to gather up as much as she can find. Let's have our little banana baby scoot over to her father's side. That way he'll be able to protect her, and Mist should be able to scoot a little bit deeper into the darkness. If she has the courage to anyways. That is awfully close to the bearyena. I'm pretty sure the bearyena is going to be attached to Crash. unless he's too hard for him to see. Now, Crash is very, very stealthy. He's so stealthy, in fact, that we couldn't even sense him when we were sniffing around. So there is always a possibility that the bearyena may have lost him. And that would not be good for you, Mist. You know what? Let's actually have you go back here, because this would be a good opportunity for you to help Orion out of the grass, too. He's been off on a mission to find a mate of his own, but it looks like that dream is going to have to wait. He needs to protect his tribe now? No. Oh, the Defender Bear has made it all the way up here, Mist. Oh my gosh. Oh, you're the one sensing that, aren't you? You can hear him lurking in the darkness. Oh, we have to be so careful now. I mean, Orion, I know for sure that you've taken down your fair share of moles, and that certainly counts as violence in his book. Not to mention this whole situation. I mean, maybe he'll go after the bearyena, but that's only if the bearyena attacks us first, and that means that we've lost. That means that one of our creatures has passed away. Oh, I think this is a bad situation no matter what way you look at it. But Mist, you haven't attacked anything as far as I know. Just the bug swarms, and I can't imagine that would count as violence, right? So I'll let you stay right there in the nursery. You go ahead and grab up some of the extra grass. Lead Orion out into the open so he'll be able to protect us too. Oh no, though we might actually have to abandon this place. If the Defender Bear comes in and tries to take over the oak tree, we're gonna have to run for it, because we can't put up with his random attacks. Well, that should be the end of this turn. So let's see what the bearyena decides to do. And we'll watch the background too to see if the Defender Bear is going to come out. Ooh, face to face with our peaceful bear, did you see that? Well, it looks like he did actually lose track of Crash then, because surely he would have given chase. Oh, and the Defender Bear has wormed his way deeper into the darkness as well. I'm not sure if I'm happy about that or not. That might mean that he's actually closer to our assassin. So Mist, since it seems like you have a pretty good sense of smell on you, a pretty good sense of hearing, let's have you jump in here. Maybe Orion could even help you out with this too. Yeah, he's still right there. Alright, how far away from that is the bearyena? About 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles away. Oh no, I think that means that he's going to be able to sense us. I'm pretty sure the Defender Bears can see about 5 tiles away, but I can't click on him right now. We're not quite close enough. We're gonna have to do it though. I mean, I don't see any other way out of this. We're going to have to get rid of this bearyena one way or another. I guess it's not as though Crash would be able to sense the Defender Bear anyways. And aside from that, I wonder if it would be easier for him to evade the Defender Bear too. So while Toxin jumps in, hoping to get her own fair swipe this time, Crash is going to quickly knock her aside. Oh, whoops. Oh, did I choose the wrong tile? See, Toxin's like, no. You're trying to make me seem too weak to push him aside. That is not gonna fly. I am gonna push him right back too. So now these two are actually squabbling over each other, rather than taking care of the bearyena right in front of them. Well, maybe that's not such a bad thing. If we give them just one more turn to wait, I mean, maybe the Defender Bear will actually follow his little bunny friends back into the savannah, and then we won't even have to worry about being too close. So this time, Crash, let's actually have you settle down near the water, and we'll see if the bearyena can sense you a little bit better that way. I think one more tile over should probably do the trick. It would be nice if maybe we could pick up this grass instead, because I think that's what's making it so hard for us to get to the bearyena. It also doesn't help that both of these creatures are short-sighted, and that seems like something we're going to have to really keep an eye on. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if most of our creatures are ending up short-sighted now. I know Mist had some pretty good eyesight, but her mate Icebreaker is a different story, so all of their kids probably have the short-sightedness in their inactive traits. And what about Orion? Oh, he has some pretty good eyesight too. Excellent. So honestly, he would make a wonderful mate for anybody who wanted to settle down with him. He's just having a terrible, terrible time attracting somebody's attention. Well, we're gonna have to figure out a way to worm around all of these creatures. Icebreaker has pretty much planted himself right in front of the babies, and I don't think he's planning on moving anytime soon. If for some reason the bearyena gets brave enough to land an attack, we definitely want to make sure that he doesn't get to somebody like Jade. She's going to be providing us with most of the food after all. So Mist, just to be safe, grab as much of the grass as you can carry. Now we need to work for the next day's payment, and that means you might also want to grab a little bit of grass for the tribe too. Just one more piece of grass and we should have enough. Yeah, I don't really think there's anything that we want to do with you. We can't risk going too far away from Jade after all. Well, I'm sure the peaceful bear would protect her. Icebreaker has always been a little bit overprotective. Not to mention there's not very much for him to do out here. So you just stay there for now, little one. And we'll go back to your sons as they skitter their way right in between these two tall trees. And look at this, they even found a shriveled up berry bush right in the direct center of both of these trees. I like how there's only 2 berries on this bush too, as if the game itself is trying to teach Kingsley how to share. I'm not sure if he would be so convinced though. As he swipes both of those berries for himself, we'll have Ben go ahead and clear out the grasses around him, and luckily that's just enough nesting material now. How fitting that Ben was the one to contribute to the tribe, while Kingsley's stealing those berries. I wonder if he's going to start to realize how terrible of a brother he's been. You would think eventually something has to strike, something has to click in his mind. And maybe being so far away from the influence of Mulberry's misfortune will do the trick. But let's go ahead and skip the day again. As Icebreaker stands guard right in front of the baby, we'll see if the bearyena comes back for a second time. Yeah, it seems like he's just going to keep going back and forth. As long as this peaceful bear is here to keep us safe, the bearyena is not going to touch any of our babies. Oh, and we have another little wanderer. Oh, he's come over to check up on us. It looks like he might actually have the nimble fingers too. Oh no, I wonder if he's going to steal everything? Wait a second, is he going to take all of those acorns? Oh my gosh. The rogues must have alerted him that the king of bananas was missing. Now he's going to steal all of your precious treasures. This is where your selfish acts have gotten you. Surely you'll be able to see that now. Well, either way, I don't think there's very much that we can do. Crash has to take care of the bearyena after all, so he's certainly not going to go jumping across the stream to invite some random wanderer in. He doesn't even really want much to do with this tribe in general. So let's just see what happens, I guess, as we go ahead and prepare to attack. First, let's have Mist jump a little bit deeper into the grasses, just to see if she can sense that defender bear again. Yep, there he is, still wandering after his bunny friends. Is he actually closer than before? Oh no, Crash. You know, you might actually do better if you go across the stream. Then at least you would be farther away from the defender bear, and you might be able to attack him from behind. Yeah, you know, he's a pretty crafty little assassin. I think he would realize that. Or maybe Toxin would even suggest it to him, since these two are working together so well. Let's have Crash jump on up here so he can light the way for Toxin next. She's already crossed the stream once before, so she's pretty much a master. Now let's also make sure that you're definitely far enough away. Yeah, looks like you're standing dangerously close to your foe right now. Something tells me even your velvet paw isn't going to help you from here. Luckily, he's hiding pretty well right behind the tree trunk, so I wonder if Icebreaker hasn't noticed his presence yet? He might be lurking in the shadows still, with only the rogue males to know his true presence. And these two probably know each other anyway. I wonder where that wanderer went though. I was so sure they were going to try to steal every last one of the food sources that we have. I wonder if maybe he found something different off in the grasses. Or if he's looking to steal these shriveled up berries instead. Yeah, Kingsley's probably not taking any chances. As he stakes his claim underneath this tree, Oh, with the cactus too. Now that's an awfully fitting little predicament, isn't it? Of course he would have the most prickly of cactus plants surrounding his home. Well, that leaves Ben to claim the other tree for himself. Not that he really wants to separate his family like this, but he can tell that Kingsley really wants his space right now. So he'll slink into the shade of the second tree instead. I think we'll probably leave Kingsley right here so he'll still be able to reach his precious berries, of course. But I did notice that rogue male was getting dangerously close to the main part of camp. We're lucky that we've built up a pretty good wall over here. I guess that's another good reason to keep Icebreaker right where he is. Now Orion, I wonder if you could actually help out too? Let's have you work your way around the rogues and all, and maybe you could reunite with Toxin on this turn. Won't he be shocked to see the strange sort of company that she's dealing with now? And the fact that she's just about to have a baby too. I wonder if the tribe would assume the baby is actually Crash's? And I wonder if she would even try to tell them otherwise. Nobody really knows what happened to the bearyena, and now is probably not the best time to admit that she's having a bearyena baby. They don't really know him like she does, or knew him like she did, so they might be afraid of what sort of creature she's going to bring into the world. I mean, I'm sure Mist would be very, very supportive. She seems like the type to support her kids no matter what. She is our little beacon of positivity after all, so I'm sure she would love her grandchild no matter what sort of father they had. But I wonder if Icebreaker might just be a little bit too nervous for that, a little bit too cautious for his own good, and far too unwilling to put his babies in any danger. I guess we could probably have Jade scoot over here. That might actually be a little bit more sheltered than she was before. She still has the thorns in the path of the bearyena, so there's no way that he could worm around and attack her on this turn. So let's go ahead and skip the day again. We'll leave you right there so you can pay the peaceful bear on the next turn. Oh, and we unlocked a gene too? For 50 days survived on the island. Too bad we're not going to be able to put that to good use because normal fertility would probably be pretty helpful. The rogues are usually known for their poor fertility anyways. We're going to have to keep an eye on that as well, just as much as the eyesight situation. Was the bearyena in the same spot? Oh. It looks like we can't sense him anymore? Not only that, but the defender bear is also a little bit further away. As always, Mist, it seems like you need to creep a little bit closer to see where he's hiding. Yeah, he is definitely going for the very same place where Crash was before. I wonder if he's actually been tracking all of the skeletons that he leaves behind him. Maybe Crash is a wanted criminal on this island. Well, as long as he's safe around the Peaceful Bear, I wonder if that would be reason enough for him to actually settle down here. It's not as though he has very much longer remaining on his lifespan, and the older he gets, the harder it's going to be to get around. Oh, wait a second. And there's the bearyena. Alright, so I guess all of that poison finally caught up to him. Crash, you might as well do the honors. You were the one who really helped us out anyways. So go ahead and pick up that meat for us, and then scoot on back to Toxin's side. She's actually going to settle down in this nest anyways, so she can finally have her baby. Mist is going to be so happy to see her again too. We're going to have to bring these two side by side. But first we should probably consider breeding her because the rogue male is definitely making himself at home here. It's probably all because of the absence of Kingsley. He's the only one who would be willing to really land a swipe, and he's probably one of the few who could anyways. That defense of his means that most of our creatures wouldn't be able to scratch him at all. Well, come on over here, Mist. We'll have you worm your way around the nursery, and then Icebreaker can use his turns, after paying the Peaceful Bear, to hopefully breed with you. Oh no. Oh, that's not what I like to see. Oh, please tell me the rogue male can't get to you in time. We might still have a chance. I mean, he has quite a few tiles to move, and we just have a few more turns to make anyways. Let's have Orion go ahead and clear out the grasses. Maybe if he comes over here, he could actually scare the male away for us. Maybe, in fact, as he sees this rogue male eyeing up the healing fruit, he would take a swipe just to ensure that he's not going to lay a paw on it, because this is going to be his treasure to guard soon. Then we'll scoot on back here to make sure that Kingsley can pick his few meager berries, refusing as ever to share with his little brother, as Ben noses around his own tree a little bit more, only to find a secret berry bush behind his. And look at this. This one actually has a little bit more room for berries on it. Unfortunately, they were all stolen away by the bunnies in the process, but you might actually have a better meal to share. The thing is, would he keep that a secret, or would he just bring the food back to his big brother? Maybe he thinks all Kingsley needs is a little bit of extra food to make him feel at home. Well, it looks like we actually do have time to pick up a little bit more grass here. We'll go ahead and dig up this root right underneath your feet too. I guess you can go ahead and share that root with Crash for now. A little thank you gift of some sort since he did take care of the bearyena. Though she's probably a little bit worried that he's going to leave now. She doesn't realize that he's still benefiting from staying with our tribe. But I feel like she's grown rather attached to Crash in her time. Well, they did have their little scuffle, they did have their arguments. I think they kind of need tough partners to even each other out. And do I actually see tiny little frog toes in that nest? Frog toes, the bearyena claw, and the no pod too? Oh, Sybil, can you even move at all? I think she is literally going to have a 1 in speed. She is going to be the hardest moving creature on this island, but she is also one of the strongest. I mean, bar none. Just having that bearyena claw on her means that she is super, super strong. We just have to make sure that she can get far enough away from the danger that she doesn't die instantly. Well, one thing's for sure, Kingsley is not about to let any of his precious berries get stolen. Go ahead and take down that bunny for us and then grab your berries too. And we'll have Ben go ahead and grab that one little berry that spawned there. He'll cart the berries back to his brother on the next turn when he can clear out the rest of the path. And luckily, we have just enough nesting material for you, Mr. Bear. Next time you need it, we'll be ready for sure. So Mist should actually be able to have just one more baby with her mate. She has 13 days remaining on her lifespan. So with the 6 days in between, that's really going to be pushing her limits. Not to mention, we don't know if this baby is even going to be healthy, but we do need to make sure that she's going to be protected from the rogue males. Luckily, that one went through, so we'll have plenty of time for Miss to hop on over here, grab one of those extra acorns maybe, and then scoot on over to meet the new little baby. So yeah, something tells me that she's probably going to believe that maybe this baby is actually between Toxin and Crash. That bearyena claw notwithstanding, she knows that Crash is pretty strong too. And I'm sure that Toxin would explain that he helped take down the bearyena. If not for his poison, then they would have been in a little bit of trouble. So she'll gladly extend a place in their home for him. And while I'm sure Toxin is not really expecting him to accept, she'll be very surprised when he agrees to settle down for now. What was it that she said before? There's strength in numbers and all? That might not be the true reason that he's seeking refuge, but it's a good enough reason for him to use. It sounds convincing on paper anyways, so that means nobody is going to question his motivations. Now, before we end the episode, let's have Orion scoot on over here to make sure that he's clearing out the grass around this healing fruit. Gotta make sure that rogue male is staying far, far away. Though it seems as though he's coming back for an extra whiff. Luckily, the rogue males won't actually steal this on us, but that's something that Orion won't know, so he's going to play the role of the good Domingo and make sure that this sacred object is kept protected at all times. I only hope that his extra vigilance will be enough to truly attract a mate his way, because he definitely deserves to have a few BBs too. Now, how many days old is sweet little Jade? She's 6 days old right now, so she must be just around the corner from growing her very first gem, or second gem rather. That way she'll be able to wander a little bit further away from the protective gaze of her father, and the peaceful bear as well. We haven't really had the chance to flesh out her personality yet, so it'll be interesting to see what sort of shenanigans she gets into. Maybe she'll even be the one to help guide her brothers back to the rest of the family. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!